Hi, everyone. It's Cindy at Dear Mom Reads and Writes. And welcome back. If you've been here before, 2 weeks ago, I had another video, but today's a new day. So I hope you've all been well. Busy, I'm sure, as we all are. Halloween and all those festivities, that's over now. And we move very quickly here in the States into the next thing, which is Thanksgiving, which I love. Food and family, but it kind of gets steamrolled kind of with all the other December festivities. And I even have some Christmas decorations out, so I'm guilty as well. But this year I needed a little festivity early because the world is crazy and I love Christmas and Hanukkah and all the wonderful, it's a season of wonder, right? There's so many great things going on. Anyway, without further ado, I will stop babbling and talk about booktube challenge I'm going to do today, which is If I Owned a Bookstore, originated by Robert G., reader of books, and I saw it very recently on Mike at Riff Raff's Reading Renaissance's channel. If you haven't been to his channel, check it out. He's great. He's very engaging and warm and funny. So thank you, Mike. I'm going to just jump right in. There's 10 questions here, and owning a bookshop or bookstore was my dream for the longest time. And honestly, it's still my dream. So this is the perfect book challenge or booktube challenge for me. I've thought about it a lot my whole life and still think about it. Working in the library, it's still in my mind. Every time I visit a bookshop I love, I think, I could do this. Anywho, let's jump right in. First question. All right. So what would the hours of operation be? Well, I am not a morning person, so there would be no opening at 8 a.m. I'm thinking 10 o'clock is a reasonable time. 10 o'clock, who gets going before then? There are a lot of people that get going before them. I've never been one of them. I have to because of work, but left to my own devices, no. So 10 o'clock, I think it would depend. There's a whole lot of factors: where it's located, what the community is like, how they're looking for books, and what their kind of demographic is. But I think during the week, probably 8 o'clock, so 10 to 8. But on weekends, like Friday and Saturday, definitely late. I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock, probably 10. So 10 to 10 on Friday and Saturday. So that's what would suit me and hopefully the community that my fabulous bookshop is in. Okay, next, question number 2. Is there ambient music, and what kind? Well, yes. I actually can't read myself with ambient music, but it would be warm and inviting, I think, to have soft classical and easy jazz playing in the background. And for festivities, which comes up later, but for activities in the bookshop, might change up the music for like a children's thing or whatever was going on. So that might change, but yeah, smooth jazz, like classical, quiet classical music, piano, flute. Yeah, that's what I see. Probably nothing, stronger than that, but very gentle in the background. Question number 3. Is there a coffee bar? Hello. Yes, there's a coffee bar. So yes, there would be a coffee bar, coffee and tea, because I love tea as well. It depends on the size of the space, right? How big that's going to be. But, and then the other part of that question is, do you serve alcohol? I'm not sure about that. Probably beer and wine, or maybe selling beer and wine. That one, coffee and tea, absolutely. Beer and wine. Yes, or maybe just for special occasions. Not sure. That one's, I'd have to I don't know about that. But selling beer and wine, no, I don't know that I'd want to sell it. I think, all right, I've made a decision. My answer is I think I would get special licenses for special events to have wine and beer served. So that's that question. Question number 4. Are patrons encouraged to linger? Absolutely. Are there comfortable chairs? 100%. What kind of lighting? Table areas for group gatherings. So I feel like I want a cozy atmosphere, but also want to have an ability to see the books in the stacks. So targeted lighting on the bookshelves themselves, but very soft, cozy light, warm, and to me inviting. So that would be the lighting, and definitely comfortable chairs. Want people to feel at home almost. And I don't know. I love going into a bookshop and being able to sit in a chair and look through a book that I'm not sure if I even want to buy it yet, but I want to be able to read comfortably. I would hope for like window seats, like deep recessed windows with comfy window seats. People can look out, look in. I love that. I would have window seats all over my house if I could. I don't, but I would. Table areas for group gatherings, absolutely. Yeah, I would love, book groups and, reading groups and yeah, all of that. It's my dream bookshop, and the ones I've been to that I absolutely love. Malaprops in Asheville, North Carolina, for one. They create community, and I think that it's easier to create community when you have an opportunity to linger and maybe meet people while you're having your coffee. So yeah, all of the above. Again, targeted lights over the bookshelves though, so you can see those titles. Okay, number 5. Is there live entertainment? Yeah, so poetry readings, author readings, lectures, story times for children. Yeah, all of that really, again, creates that community environment. And I love being read to personally. There's nothing I enjoy more than being read to. When I was in Ireland with a dear friend of mine 3 years ago, 3 weeks, drove around Ireland, had the time of our lives. Every night, we read Yeats' poetry aloud to each other. So in bed, sitting up in bed in our pajamas, we read Yeats to each other. It was just, oh my God, I don't have words. It was fabulous. And then we went to Yeats's home, summer place in the Tower. Whole other story. Anyway, go to Ireland. It's fabulous. And the people are amazing. So anyway, yes to live entertainment. 6, where is the bookstore located? Is it in the busy heart of a large city, a neighborhood of a large city, suburban shopping mall? That's a no. A small town, rural area. I think ideally for me, it would be a small town, but a small town that's beginning to grow. Okay, so obviously that takes some research and some doing. But yeah, a small town that is just the wheels are spinning. There's new development, other businesses, so many towns across the country, probably across the world. Industrial days over, big box stores, out on the highways or the freeways. So many downtowns fell into, tough times. So I would want to be in a smaller town, not tiny, but I don't know, but somewhere where the community and the governance is interested. on growth and developing intentionally that downtown area. So that's my choice. Let's see. 7. How does the bookstore look from outside? Sleek and modern, dark and brooding. I don't know if not sleek and modern. Nope. Not sort of that modern factory, that is very cool. And I love that. But my dream bookshop is going to be not dark and brooding either. Cozy is what I'm going for. So outside, there'd be lots of there'd be flowers, inside potted plants everywhere. I love gardening, so it's another interest of mine. Nooks and crannies filled with plants and other interesting artwork. I love art. So having local artists putting their work up, having them selling local artists' work. I would love that. A cozy, calm atmosphere. That's what I'd be going for. Not dark and brooding. I know Mike had mentioned when he was doing this in the video I just watched, he talked about having a separate room for booktubers and a separate music room. And I think that's all so wonderful. I would like quiet spaces. So for people who just want quiet, they get a coffee or not, they just want to go in a nook and just be by themselves. I would want those nooks and crannies as well, not all busy, busy, busy. Hopefully something for almost everyone. I don't know what you look for in a bookshop, but I'd love to know if you let me know in the comments. But cozy and inviting, and everyone is welcome. I don't know what that means. Mike also mentioned like homes that have been converted. I've seen churches, former, sacred places turned into bookshops. I think no matter what the structure is, not an industrial building, although you could carve out space in something like that and make it your own. I think, that warm paneling or warm colors or, it's hard to imagine it all, but I want it to feel inviting. So warmth is what I would be going for. Warmth and friendliness. Okay, question number 8. What's the specialty? Used, new, both, fiction, nonfiction? Do you specialize in a particular genre? I am what I guess the title is mood reader these days. I'm a mood reader. So I read from abroad. I have such a broad interest. I am interested in so many things. So I read a lot of nonfiction and fiction, historical fiction, literary fiction. I tend not to read historical fiction would be the one genre I probably read the most of, but anyway, I would like my bookshop to be a used bookshop. Prices for new books are just so crazy. And I love giving books another life. It's like why I buy used furniture and things I find at, charity shops and other places that had a life before it came into my hands. I'm curious about that. And I love that something was lived in already, was somebody used this table, not this table, but somebody had their dinners and breakfasts at this table for who knows how many years. There's a story, right? So anyway, I'm really getting off track here. The specialty would be used bookshops because I love used books. I like notes in the margin. I like underlined passages. I like that that people could maybe afford to buy more used books than new. I probably have a small new book section. Hot off the press, yeah, the latest New York bestsellers. I'm not sure, but yeah, there would be some new, but predominantly used. Um, anyway, I babble on. Okay, what's the name of your bookstore? Well, I've been thinking about this since I saw Mike's video, Riff Raff's Reading Renaissance. Um, Mine would be called Home. Just home. Not home is where the heart is. That's the intention. Not home books, at home with books. Just home, because books have always felt like home to me. I've connected with stories my entire life since I can remember. And that feeling of diving, getting lost in a story, even nonfiction as well. Some narrative nonfiction reads like fiction beautifully, or the story itself is so captivating. I'm home when I'm reading. When I crack open my book, I can't wait, to get a few minutes to read it again, because that brings me back home. So that would be the name of my bookshop, Home. And now I want to have one. And I would want to have a bookmobile. I work in the library, and there used to be bookmobiles at most of the libraries, and some in nearby counties here where I live in North Carolina do have bookmobiles. Charlotte, North Carolina has a bookmobile, and go to, underserved communities, schools, nursing homes, just getting books out to more people. I would love that as well. So that would be Home on the Road. Um, I think that's what it would be. So yeah, home. Oh, I don't know, popped in my head. I'm like, of course that's what I would call it. So my store hopefully would feel like home to the community, that grows together in that space, in that shared space. And I think that's it. The last question is, would you, what friend, who would you tag with this booktube tag? And I would just say, as others have said, I would I would encourage anyone who loves books, loves to read, has wants to talk more about this. Bookstores are, Barnes and Noble decided to open a whole bunch of new bookstores where before the COVID, they were closing a bunch of stores. So reading is still alive and well. And the community that is formed in a great downtown or local bookshop is just, there's nothing like it. Like I mentioned, Malaprops in Asheville, North Carolina, where I used to live. That is a community space, and that's what I would want. And I've been to others. I want to just mention them as well. There's a great bookshop in Salisbury, North Carolina, Mooresville, North Carolina. There's just so many, and shout out to all of them, because when I walk in, I don't feel like a stranger, even though I don't live there. And I step into a space that feels just welcoming and warm. So anyone who wants to talk about books and bookstores, I urge you to do this challenge. It's so much fun. This was my dream when I was younger. I thought I'd own a bookshop and live in the apartment, space upstairs, walk down the stairs to work, put on the coffee pot. So it might still happen. It might be that I have a bookmobile with coffee. That might be it. I don't know. But I feel like I stumbled onto this intentionally on purpose, because it is my dream. I mean, why wouldn't we dream about owning a bookshop when you love books? I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. I would love to know what you think about your dream bookshop, what you think about anything about books. So that's why we're here. That's why I'm here. That's why I started this channel, is to create community. I don't really have, having moved where I am now, I don't really have a community of people to talk about books. I have faraway friends. I grew up in Connecticut, and so I have a dear friend who we have our own kind of little book club. We're kind of paused on that for now, but the two of us read books together and then talk about them on the phone, or we text, or all the things. So, yes, I hope you are very well. And I look forward to seeing what you think about your dream bookshop, what you would like, about anything about books. So, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time. And in the meantime, please be well. I'll see you soon. Bye.